Back, me and Jim today. Jim's on the road. John's on the road. Unfortunately, he is somewhere in the middle of Vermont with probably half a bar of cell phone service right now. So hopefully he gets to his final destination before the show ends, and he'll jump in here with us, but we'll see how that one plays out. If not, the Red Sox are just going to take a verbal beating, I think, today. But so we do have to talk some baseball stuff. We haven't in a while. Yankees taking a lot of injuries right now. Got some interesting stuff to talk about football. The Jets and Giants OTA started. Saquon Barkley's working his way back. Some interesting stuff up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers talking about a philosophical difference between him and the ownership/leadership, which I don't know what that means. We're going to dive into that a little bit, try and figure out what that's supposed to mean. And we talked about this last week, but Julio Jones trade is still a thing, and apparently now there is a team that has offered a first-round pick. So we're going to get into all these things. 32-year-old wide receiver, owed a lot of money. They could still get a first-rounder for it. That's going to be interesting. So with that, let's roll and see how it goes.
Welcome to the Bean Apple Podcast.
Belichick. I text him all the time. He just doesn't answer.
Somehow got mono. God knows who he was making out with.
Somebody had given me 2 tickets to a Jet game, and I had to run into a store. Came out, they broke my window, and they left 4 more tickets.
All right, so with that, welcome to the Bean Apple. Before we go, hit that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button so hard it almost breaks your computer. Hit the alerts, set your bell, or hit your bell and set your alerts, whichever way you want to do it. It doesn't matter as long as it happens. And always like this episode. Let's start off with let's talk about the baseball side of a little bit. We've been neglecting it, and I know it's not everybody's favorite, but a lot of injuries going on right now. The AL East is tight, so we'll bring the chat alive and going in here. So, what do you think? What's going on? What's going on?
Where is John? So Mark didn't hear that. John's up in Vermont somewhere looking for maple syrup, I think.
Yeah, he's licking trees, and I told him you can't lick the trees to get the syrup out, but he doesn't listen. You know, John. So
I forgot what day of the week it was.
Yeah, he's heading up to Vermont for the long weekend, and didn't arrive at his destination in time. So, like I said, hopefully he will be jumping in here soon. I don't know how far away he is, but we'll see what that goes. And then the other comment we got, I could just drop it in the bottom since it's not here, but.
Yeah,
I completely agree, but apparently there's NFL teams that don't agree. So we'll see how that goes. But let's talk about some baseball before we get too deep.
Let's
get a round out there.
So it's looking at the Yankees here. So obviously I'm going to talk Yankees. The injuries are just climbing, right? We've had, Hicks went out, season-ending surgery on his left wrist. He's gone for the year, right? He was our starting center fielder. Now Luke Voit comes back and has another oblique strain, so we've talked about this and how, guys get hurt swinging and missing, right? And Voit has been missing every pitch, and he swings as hard as he can. I'm watching the Yankees Blue Jays here, and the Blue Jays are the same way. Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr., and these guys swing like they are trying to hit the ball 10 miles, right? Yeah. And when you hit the ball, it's fine. When you miss the ball, your body can't handle the torque, and you strain your obliques. So now Voigt's going to be out for a while, which is not going to be good for us because it's like as soon as we start getting Judge it's something. I'm with you. As soon as we start getting guys back, so Giancarlo is supposed to be back Friday from the quad strain, and now Voit goes down. So Judge has been in the lineup pretty steady, but he's not really doing much. And it's just been one thing after another. So, Corey Kluber throws the no-hitter, right? I don't know if we talked about that or not, but he threw that beautiful game, complete game, no-hitter, loved it. And he starts the next game. He goes out early with shoulder tightness. He's out 8 weeks now. So was that complete game too much? Maybe. So, it goes back to, we talked about guy has a no-hitter going in the 6th inning, but his pitch count was low. Right, he wasn't like they didn't go to 120 for him to get the no-hitter with a complete game. His pitch count was under control. He pitches the whole game. 5 days later, he comes back out. I think he goes 2 innings, maybe 3, and he's out with the shoulder. So now he's going to be out 8 weeks. They're going to shut him down for 4, probably 8 in total with the shoulder. And it's unbelievable. It's just, I have to think last year's short season has an impact on this. I mean, you look at the Mets. The Mets have a bunch of guys. They just shut Noah Syndergaard down again. Conforto's down. I mean, they have a bunch of guys on the injury, and somehow they're in first place. Somehow, I think they have a 2 or 3 game winning streak. I don't follow them, but they're in first, and they have. I think I want to say the whole starting outfield is on the IL. So they have a bunch of injuries too, and it's just like. I know like George Springer they were talking about with the Jays. He hasn't really been on the field, and I think it's just. I mean, what do you think? Do you think, or maybe the other guys that are listening? I mean, you think that 2020 short season? I'm surprised it's happening this early. I thought it would have been more towards past the halfway point, 3/4 of the year, that all these guys would start running and hitting the wall with things. But man, it seems early to me.
I think it's. I can't imagine it's that much of a difference, right? I mean, they had a short season last year, but they still had a full spring training this year. It wasn't like that got cut short. I can't imagine. I mean, this whole year is weird so far. We talked about, they're 1 no-hitter away from tying the single season record, and we're still in May, which is weird. I mean, pitching is completely dominating the game right now. It's insane, and I don't know what it is. Like you said, I think these guys are everybody just wants to hit a home run every time they get up. Nobody wants a base hit. It's got to go over the fence,
swing for
or
the fences.
It's a wasted at bat. And like you said, I mean, you see Giancarlo Stanton do it every friggin' year. He's that giant muscle swinging the bat and constantly getting hurt. All these guys just swinging for the fences, and that's why you're getting so many no hitters. We got guys that have got great movement on their pitches. And these guys are just looking for a fastball down the middle to destroy, and they're not getting it. They're getting curves and sinkers and changeups, and the ball's all over the place, and they can't hit it anymore because when you swing as hard as you can every time, if it's not down the middle and straight, you're not going to hit it. So I think it's a combination of great pitching and overemphasis on the home run or power, just power in general. Just I don't know. It's disturbing because. Like I talked about, like I don't like these no-hitters because it's just all these low-scoring, low-hit games. It's just boring to watch. So
that's right. It's bad for baseball. I mean, Yankees just lost 2-0. They're playing a doubleheader today because yesterday we had a storm blow through. So I think it was they had back-to-back home runs. The Blue Jays, first or second inning. I think it was the first inning. And then nothing after that. It's 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Boom, game's over in less than 2 hours. It's like, what the hell's going on? I get it's 7 innings, but man, the Yankees have been really low-scoring games. They haven't had a breakout laugher game in a while. Yeah. And it's just you're waiting for something to happen, right? We're supposed to be getting Severino back in July from Tommy John, and Darren O'Day had the rotator cuff. He's due back in mid-June. Zach Britton is back June 10th, I believe they're targeting. So there's just so many guys down. And, now it's like, all right, are we going to start making moves? Is Cashman going to start looking? And then you look like, okay, so Trevor Story, they've been talking about with the Yankees. Can the Yankees pull a trade for him? He goes out today with arm tightness. So he left the game early. So who knows what's going on with him? But all of the guys you look at that you think maybe all we can go after him, all of a sudden they end up on the IL, right? I mean, it's just there's no guarantees that you're going to get a guy. It seems like you used to pick up a guy and that wasn't even a consideration. Oh, I hope he doesn't go down. You brought him in. He finished the season. This stuff didn't used to happen when you brought in David Justice mid-year, or you went out and picked up Rock Reigns or somebody. It was in like Strawberry. All of these guys came in and played. Cecil Fielder, whoever we picked up, they didn't go down because they pulled some quad or something.
Right. The injuries now compared to what they used to be, like guys can't get through 60 days without getting hurt. It's just and now and you look at it. So Tatis has already been on the IL.
Soto, his shoulder pops in and out, right?
Yeah, Soto has been on the IL. Acuna has been on the IL, and Trout is now
did
out
you
for 2 months.
Right.
Your
Did you
best-
see what
your
happened
best
with
players.
Acuna's fingers?
No.
So he had. I hope I'm not mixing two guys up. I believe he slid into someone's spikes, and he right away the player that was playing third base jumped up, and I don't know what he saw. I don't know if the finger broke. I don't know what happened, but something happened to his hand because when he slid into the bag, he slid into his spikes into third base. But then they said I heard something today where he aggressively tried to take his shoes off or put his cleats on or something and hurt his hand, and now he's on the IL. It's like, what? I remember Wade Boggs hurting his back, putting on his cowboy boots. But I don't.
Speaking of that, did you see Zach Plesac broke his hand taking his shirt off the other day? It was like 2 days ago. I got the update. He's on the IL. He aggressively took off his shirt and broke his thumb. I can't even for the life of me fathom how that's physically possible to break a bone in your hand taking your shirt off. Like,
I didn't either. Something else. There must have been preliminary.
It's one of those things. Like, you got to be making. We talk about injuries. You got to be making this stuff up. Like, it's insane the injuries. But let's talk about insanity that Javi Baez play.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys saw this. I saw the play and I thought to myself, I didn't think this was legal. I thought, I don't care if it's Little League, you hit the ball, you have to run to first base, and as soon as you stop running, you're probably out, but you cannot retreat. So show the play if you got it there. Yeah, I did not know this was even legal, but for the guys that didn't see it, put this on real quick.
Let me cue it up.
And then we'll talk about what Carlos is saying there with the base runners versus big bats. This is such a crazy play. It's just like it's like I can't even compare it to a shift thing because it doesn't even seem like you should be allowed to do that.
Right. No, it's ridiculous. Let's see. I don't think it's going to let me do it. No.
Come on.
Well, I have to completely, since this is a new computer, I have to grant it access.
Oh.
And I have to shut down all the windows and
no.
to do it. So, let me see.
Oh.
Let me see if it'll let me.
Oh, there we go. We got something. So
okay.
look at this.
Hold on, let me rewind it.
Yeah. So guys, anyone watching this, what's your take on this play?
Right, so here you go. 2 outs.
Third. 2 outs.
2 outs. 0-2.
He runs back.
Safe
that
at
guy's
home.
Safe at home.
Now nobody's covering first.
Right. Safe at first. Ball gets away. Get up. Go to second. How is this even legal? Ball gets away. Could have went to third, maybe. But
I don't know. And so we were talking about this, like the common sense thing to do there would just turn around and go step on the base instead of chasing him all the way back.
Right.
Or even just tag him. Like, why did he even throw it to the catcher at that point?
He forgot how many outs there were, but how about the heads-up base running by the guy on third? To go and score. Look at how close he is, how close Baez is, and the guy coming down from third isn't even close yet, and he still gets in there. Incredible. That's I mean,
that's
you want to talk
Pirates.
about heads up by Baez, but I did not think you could legally run back. Yeah, I'm with you, Carlos. How is that legal? You could run back almost to, I guess if you touch home plate. I wonder if he touched home plate, would he be out?
I think so. Yeah, because you can't touch home when you're swinging.
Right. So he got back just before home plate, and then the guy scores. But all the guy had to do was tag him.
Right.
Even right there, instead of throwing it to the catcher, tagged. He has this much room to run.
he was so close. He had to like softly toss it over his head to get it to the catcher.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But that's
but
the Pirates.
To me, that should be like running out of the baseline. As soon as you start retreating back to home,
you're
automatically out. that's running out of the baseline in my mind. I just don't. I never saw before, and I can't believe.
Right. Well, I mean, it's no different than being in a pickle. The only thing is nobody would do that because it's a force out. Like you,
Right.
you don't have to tag the guy. Like he put himself in a pickle and convinced the first baseman that it was a pickle, and played it out instead of the first baseman just going, "I'm not playing your reindeer games.
Right.
I'm just going to go tag you out at first." Call it a day.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't see
it's
who the
genius.
first baseman was. I wonder if he was a guy that's not the normal first baseman. I wonder if he was just filling in at first. Maybe it was his first game at first or something. But
maybe. But at what point do you go, wait a second, I know how to play this game. I'm just going to touch first and get him out.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
Right.
been playing baseball since I was 5 years old. I think I remember somewhere that it's an automatic out at first. So
that's right. Tag the
Right.
damn bit. Right. All you had to do was turn around and step on first. Nothing else happens then.
it doesn't make any sense.
Wow, that's what I was saying. Is he somebody that doesn't typically? I don't know who the guy was playing first. I didn't look.
Yeah, he had to be the regular first baseman because it was just a ground ball.
No, I'm saying
out,
maybe
so
the
it
first
wasn't-
baseman was hurt and they brought a kid up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just a crazy play. I mean, you see these things.
It's awesome.
You know what's cool about baseball though? Like things like that happen, and I still, as many games as I've seen in my life, things still happen, and it's like, man, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. I mean, and here's another one. It's just I
Right.
feel like something recently happened where I said that, and now here's another one.
Yeah, been playing this game since the 1800s, and you think there's nothing left. There's nothing left that can be a first, and this has got to be. This has to be a first. So that's absolutely incredible. So that was cool. Hopefully, we keep getting cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some football stuff. We can keep it local. We got OTAs going on right now. So I was reading a little bit for the Jets. Quick synopsis of what happened today, and reports are saying Zach Wilson's looking good. And I know there's not too much to get excited about. It is OTAs though, so there's some defenders on the field. It's not the wide open stuff, but saying some really nice tight window passes, making Elijah Moore, the second round pick that the Jets got, looks really explosive. Michael Carter, the running back from North Carolina, got a lot of play today. Really used him a lot. So some good signs from the young guys that they got, getting a lot of touches early in the OTAs, which is a really good thing to see. And also just see Zach Wilson brought the offensive line to the Islanders playoff game the other night.
I didn't see it, but my brother. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's smart of him. My brother said he saw it, and he said Zach Wilson looked like somebody was bringing their kid. Zach looked so young. I didn't see the shot of it, but he said, yeah, it looked like he was one of their linemen's, one of the linemen's kids at the game.
It did look like he was like the DD for everybody or something. Like he's not. But you know what? Like I never saw Sam Darnold doing these type of things. So like this kid comes right in, instantly like immerses himself in the New York market, and with the offensive lineman, which is what you want. You want to build that relationship, and he's doing it right out the gate, doing what he should as a leader, which is awesome to see him doing. I mean, last week there was nothing going on. He could have been back in Utah or California hanging out, doing nothing, but instead he already said he's staying in the area until preseason. So
he should.
He's not going anywhere. So he's got an apartment set up. He's got everything he needs. He said he's there. He's going to be at the facility, learning as much as he can, spending as much time with everybody, which is exactly what you want to hear, because a lot of these guys could just go home and come back.
Where is he from? Do you know?
He's from Utah.
Oh, he is from Utah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a big change, Utah to New York.
Yeah, the Mormon culture to the New York City lifestyle.
Salt Lake
like
City,
that's
sure.
Yeah, very, very different. I think he's from Provo.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, if I remember right. So
Sanchez told him.
I don't know. I heard that he had talked to Sanchez, he had talked to Chad Pennington, and he had talked to Josh McCown about
Daniel Jones too.
Did he talk to Daniel Jones?
Reached out to him, yeah.
Nice.
Yep, I know how to be a quarterback in New York. In New
right.
York.
Yeah. What to expect, what it's like, the things. So So that's good. I mean, he reached out. He obviously got advice, and he is utilizing it. It wasn't just lip service. And I'm excited. I mean, you guys, you know how much I've been a believer in Zach Wilson. So I'm over the moon, and I hope he doesn't fail, because I am too emotionally invested in this guy already to to have another Jets quarterback go down in flames. I can't handle it. So.
Oh my God, that would be brutal. John called it as soon as the Jets picked him. Another young quarterback's career down the tubes. I mean, hopefully not. I mean, you don't want to see that, but not. Man, the Jets' luck with anything has been far from good.
But Robert Saleh was at the Knicks game last night too, and they pulled out the win. So
good. Wow.
So that's good. I mean, it's that presence. It's that Saleh presence that he's bringing to New York. It's going to translate into the Jets locker room, and I can't wait for a change of culture. I mean, God knows they need it. 10 years. 10 years. I saw a thing. So they're at 10 years without a playoff appearance. There's 4 other teams that are tied for the second longest at 5 years without a playoff appearance, and the Jets have doubled that.
Wow.
It's like, just by luck, something should have played right to where the division, some things happened. They snuck into a wild card, something. But
and even now, when they get better, the whole division got better.
Right.
So it wasn't like everyone's on the downslope and you guys are taking off. No, everyone moved up together. It's like, let's all take that step up together. Come on.
A rising tide raises all ships, right?
He gave the Knicks the win by Jet season.
No, it's new.
Joe can't have the Knicks and the Jets winning. No, I can't. That's way too much. Way too much.
I'm not even.
That threshold is way too much.
I saw a lot of stuff today on the Knicks win, and like the way Knicks fans are acting, like they just won the championship by beating like a lower seeded team one game.
It's exciting.
That's how hungry the Knicks fan base is for a victory. Can you imagine what the Jets would be like?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's also New York.
Fans. Oh yeah.
Like outside of Spike Lee, like who's an actual Knicks fan? How many of those guys are just bandwagon fans because they made it to the playoffs and now it's something to get excited about? That's all it is. I mean,
it's been a long time. It's been a long time, right? You don't see those big celebrities there. I mean, since Ewing and Starks and Houston were on the team, it's been nothing. It's been nobody. Yeah. I mean, okay, you have like, Linsanity for a little while and Porzingis and different guys come in and they have a little spark or something, but it hasn't been a team event for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to games when like Latrell Sprewell was on the team. I took Anthony when he was younger and stuff, but I mean, it hasn't been. They just haven't been good in so long, and it's hard to be that bad that long when you're in New York. You know, New York City, right in New York City, Madison Square Garden.
Jets are doing it too, so I don't know how they do it. So and look at Carlos over here, unbearable. That's the Jets fans. You grew up a quarter mile from the stadium. I mean, come on, man, come on. Talk about unbearable. That's unforgivable, is what it is.
Carlos is filling in for John. Send him the link so he can get on camera. he's playing John tonight.
Yeah. God.
That's good. Good stuff.
Insane. Insane. Traitor.
Yeah. Hey. Can't wait.
Jersey City boy rooting for the Patriots. It's like.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Man.
That's bizarre.
So. All right. So the highlights of what we were going to talk about today, and we talked about this last episode too, but it's continuing, right? So the Aaron Rodgers thing, we'll start off with. He came out and said it's not about Jordan Love, which is what we were talking about, drafting a replacement player. Said he loves Jordan. I don't know if it's just lip service or if he's actually being genuine, but he came out and said it's a philosophical difference that he has with the organization. And like, what does that even mean? Like a philosophical difference with the organization, that has to mean like the organization no longer wants to win. They don't find that to be important anymore, or, what is it? Like wide receivers, like they don't believe in.
One guy wants to run only. We're just going to run the ball from now on.
Right.
No, I want to throw it. No, we don't want to throw it.
No, we're going a different way. Well, we're on physical.
Right. Jordan Love is
Psychological
great.
differences.
Jordan Love is great at handing the ball off. We want to go that route now.
Yeah. We signed
Wait a
Aaron
minute.
Jones so we could
Hold
only hand off the ball. So we're going to need
what is that?
Devontae Adams to be a blocking wide receiver now, and
Right.
it's insane.
Right, just like the
insane.
kid down in Jacksonville, right? You're running back. We're gonna send you out deep every play. How about that? We're gonna try something different with you. No, play to the guy's strength. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear. I'm sure we're going to hear more. This has been in the news every day. I mean, the other day I got a thing. It said Aaron Rodgers retires, and I'm like, he's retired now. And I didn't see it anywhere else, but something came up. It said Aaron Rodgers announced his retirement. Maybe it was fake
from Jeopardy. Maybe?
Oh, maybe he retired from Jeopardy. I didn't think about that. I don't know what he retired from, but I thought, oh, maybe he's just going to retire then, and that's it. But I don't know. I just, I think about the teams he can go to, and Washington and the Giants and Denver, and I mean, there's a handful of them. I'd love to see him. I wouldn't want to see him come to. I wouldn't want to see him come to Washington. I wouldn't want to have to play him. I wouldn't want him to go to Philly either. The question would be Giants. Could we flip Daniel Jones to Green Bay and maybe Slayton and a couple of picks, the Bears pick maybe, and bring Rodgers in, and we win the division, no doubt. We win the division. Our odds go way up. And,
I mean that would be a fun matchup to watch between you and the Cowboys at that point.
Hell yeah, it would. Oh my God,
man! You imagine those Monday night games? They'd all get flexed. They'd all get flexed.
Yeah.
They might even throw one more in just for entertainment purposes, because that would be
no doubt.
Oh man!
And then you think about it. I mean, we're playing the Chiefs. We're playing Tampa Bay. We're playing the Saints. I mean, that would have a whole new direction with him. Vinatieri, with him as our quarterback. I mean, I'd love to see him and Brady going at each other, and who knows.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, we're not done yet. So I don't know. I think it's still a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I think you got to look at those teams and say, like, what's your best return? And the Giants would get, if it's me, I'm talking to Denver. I think that's your best bet. The Packers. I think if they're going to move him, you flip him to Denver, because I mean, they still have to try to beat the Chiefs there. So your pick is you probably have the best chance of getting a nice return from Denver than you do the Giants, because I mean, if he goes to the Giants,
I'm surprised he would want to go to Denver. Denver's not ready to win the division.
Isn't that where his girlfriend lives or something?
Who cares? He wants to win. He wants to win, doesn't he?
Maybe his difference with the organization is they won't move to where his girlfriend lives.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he says, I have to play somewhere else that's freezing. I want to go to Denver, right? Because I only play in sub-zero temperature. But
right. Well, I mean, but their offense is good. Their quarterback sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they got Fant or Noah Fant. They got Jerry Jeudy. They got KJ Hamler. They took Javonte Williams in the draft, and I think they also have do they still have Melvin Gordon? Is he gone? I think they still have him for one more year. I mean, so that offense is pretty good. You still have Von Miller on the defensive side, and I don't. I mean that
he doesn't
team,
have. God.
It's Drew Lock that holds that team back.
Yeah, but I don't think you plug him in and all of a sudden they're a contender. They're winning the division just because he's there. I don't think so.
I don't think they're winning the division. That's why if I'm Green Bay, that's the best chance to get a good pick back from him.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
What's the benefit to Rodgers though? What is he gonna? Is he gonna have an MVP season on the Broncos? No. Is he gonna be in a playoff? No. So what the hell are you doing? But I didn't. So Carlos is saying he doesn't have a no trade clause. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a no trade clause. Come on, how can he not?
Yeah,
it's like not having a prenup.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got to figure there's no way they would trade me. So why would I need one? And then 4 years later, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah, and they should trade him to the Raiders. That's what they should do.
So Rodgers to the Raiders. I mean, Gruden would take him because Gruden loves taking veteran,
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
And then flip Carr back to Green Bay. And
I
they
think
still have
you could-
Mariota too, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, you could probably flip Carr to who else? Nobody needs a quarterback now.
No, but they would want a quarterback in return, I would think. You can't just bank on Love being the guy and that's it. You gotta you gotta bring a starter back for him, I think.
I don't know, but if you're gonna say Love's the future, you can't bring Carr in and make him the backup.
Well, I mean,
You can trade for Mariota,
yeah.
but then still Carr's the backup, so you have to move Carr because he's got more value. So you could flip him to another team. Maybe a quarterback goes down. Can't trade him to the Broncos. That's in division. That wouldn't make much sense. But
no, there's not many teams right now that would.
No.
Washington. No.
The Bears maybe.
No, with
While
Fields and
Fields
Dalton,
gets ready.
They already said Dalton's starter.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I say I like a lot of things too until something better comes along.
Right. Well. Yeah.
I mean, who would you rather have starting?
How about Carr to the Jets?
Ugh. I don't. He's
So
going
that's
to
it.
be
It's just Zach, and that's it. There's who's the backup? The kid that never played, right?
They still don't have
you
anybody.
have no real proven anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean they got to add something, maybe. But what are you giving up for that?
Wow, look at this. Carr to the Giants. I don't want Carr. Jones to Green Bay. Rodgers to the Raiders.
That's
Wheeling and dealing.
That's interesting. It would depend on what picks are coming with it.
Yeah,
I think.
So I mean, Carr to the Giants. I mean, he had some good games last year. When he's at home, I'm trying to think of the game he played early on at home. I think it was opening up the stadium. And maybe it was against the Saints.
Both Chief games they almost won.
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he played really good in those games. Really good.
But there was the one game early on. I want to say it was the per ESPN. It was no trade. Wow. I think it was the game that opened up the Vegas Stadium, and I want to say it was against the Saints, and they ran up and down the field. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
he had a great game. I mean, what's the kid's name? Ruggs and
Edwards.
Yeah, no. Who was the other kid though that went crazy that game?
Who else did they have?
Not Ruggs. There was another guy. Big kid, fast. Is it Ruggs? Tight end?
Oh, Waller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I was thinking wide receivers.
Yep. No, tight end. Yeah. They
Darren
couldn't even
Waller's-
cover him. They couldn't cover him.
Nobody.
And Carr was hitting him on every pass. Yeah.
Yep. He's.
Well,
he's
Mark, that's
else.
interesting. Why don't you reach out to the GM of Green Bay?
You got him thinking.
Or maybe they'll see the show. Decent game against the Bills too.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, I mean the kid can play. I mean, and Gruden said he came back to coaching because he wanted to coach Carr. That was a big reason. He wanted Carr on the team. Yeah. So he was a big believer in that kid. So yeah. But so yeah, would he flip him? Would he flip him for Rodgers? I don't know.
So that team would look like Josh Jacobs, Henry Ruggs. They signed John Brown from Buffalo, Hunter Renfrow, who pretty good little guy there for number 3, and then Darren Waller. I mean, you throw Rodgers in there, that's a young. Well, John Brown's been around for a while, but Renfrow, Ruggs, and then Bryan Edwards as well. They're all very young wide receivers. So a lot of speed. I mean, that Henry Ruggs is fast as lightning, so Rodgers could just throw up his 50, 60-yard bombs and just let Ruggs go get it. I mean, it'd be insane. So, yeah, that would be interesting. You'd have to see what picks are moving with it, though, because I think for the Giants to take that on, you've got to get a first-round pick for that, and then they're going to have to give a first, probably 2 firsts. to Green Bay, right? Because Jones going up there is not anywhere near an equal payment. So I'm guessing one first rounder would have to go to the Giants with Carr, and 2 first rounders would have to go up to Green Bay to make that happen.
From the Raiders.
From the Raiders, yes.
Yeah.
3 first from the Raiders, 1 to you, 2 to Green Bay. I mean, Carr and a first round with the Bears' first round from last year. I mean, that's a nice haul.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and if Carr sucks, then you draft somebody else next year.
That's right.
I mean, if he sucks, you're going to be drafting high anyway. So why not, right?
Yeah, hopefully one of these QBs start accelerating this final year and start to show some real promise.
Yeah.
Like we had this year. So
I mean, it happens every year.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
somebody
they're gonna start, pushing somebody, right? No matter what. So
yeah. All right, now let's talk about let's flip over to Julio. So as unbelievable as I find this to be, there's a team out there that reportedly offered a first round draft pick for the 32-year-old Julio Jones, which is insane. What's up, Travis?
I love that screen name there. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
At first, I'm like, "What is this? Is this a spam or something?" Oh no, I know what that is.
I thought that too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Right. Travis sent us a message yesterday. He's like, hey, this is what I have to use because I'm in jail right now. And I was like, damn, that is dedication. You are hitting us up from jail. And I was like, yeah, I really hope you mean Facebook jail and not actual jail. But I do appreciate it and spread the word if you're ever incarcerated for any reason. We're still here for you. But yeah, he's like, yeah, stuck in Facebook jail. And if you read that backwards, it does.
You'll get it. You'll figure it out.
It does also give you the thing. So, yeah, we just talked about some baseball stuff, the crazy Javi Baez play, and we just finished talking about the Aaron Rodgers philosophical differences that he is having with the Green Bay ownership, whatever that's meaning. And then we're rolling into Julio Jones, potential trade. There's a first-round pick that is being thrown out there, dangled out there for him, which to me is crazy. He's 32 years old. He's owed a ton of money, and like you said, he doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't
play
yards.
every game.
Yeah.
He's hurt every year with his hamstring.
Right. So who would be giving this up? They were talking about the Titans, and then reports said that it's very far-fetched that it would be the Titans that he goes to. So yeah, I'm trying to run through like what teams would be a good fit for him at this point and give up a first-round pick for him. It's got to be somebody.
It's got to be somebody that's decent that doesn't have a great pick.
Yeah, that's
like
looking.
The Chiefs. I mean, Tampa Bay just re-signed Antonio Brown again.
Yeah.
I mean, so I can't imagine it's Tampa Bay. But it's got to be somebody that's high. Could it be like Seattle? Could Seattle need a receiver?
So I'll tell you, you're close to what I'm thinking here, but I'm thinking Arizona. I'm thining Arizona. I mean, they got DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow, look at this. Done deal, according to C. Borman.
Oh.
June 1st. Pat. I heard he was linked to him. I did hear that.
Yeah, but you got to take that with a grain of salt. Every single player that was a free agent this year was not even free agents.
Quarterback.
So, but I would maybe it is a done deal. I think they would have already announced it, pending the June 1st cut. But we'll see. But I think Arizona would be an awesome fit. I really do. They got a young receiving core. They got DeAndre Hopkins. You put Julio Jones on the other side for Kyler Murray. That's a nice 1-2 punch right there. And I saw somebody ask the question to DeAndre Hopkins if he would restructure his contract to get Julio in there, and he said absolutely. So, so that conversation has happened, but I think it would be a good fit when he's healthy. The two of them, my God,
that would be something.
That would be, and you're in a tough division with outstanding quarterbacks and great wide receivers, and now you just you've thrown yourself right in the mix, in the mix there. So you can't single cover, or you can't double cover anybody now in Arizona. You can't double cover Hopkins, So that opens up the whole game. That whole air raid offense would be insane in Arizona.
Although I could see him going to New England. I mean,
Yeah.
it would make sense. It's a Belichick kind of move, and Cam needs somebody. I know they said Cam just re-signed, so he's got another 1 year, right? And I guess he's starting, but they did say what's his name? Mac was in the OTAs too, and looking good. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, but
your thrower.
Let me see.
What's that?
Playing it out. Yeah, I don't see anything yet for confirmation or inside sources for Julio going to the Patriots, but I know that's one of the rumor mill spots, landing spots for him. But I mean, I would love for the Patriots to give up a first for him because you're only going to get 7 games out of him. You're going to pay him a ton of money, and then I don't have to really worry about much. So. Of course, the 2 games that he does go off and have 300-yard games will be against the Jets. Of course,
there you go.
He'll get injured. He'll play week 2. He'll get injured in week 3. He'll come back for week 7. I think is the next matchup. Ball out in that one, and then get hurt again the next week for the rest of the season. He'll play 3 games and have 700 yards. God. I don't think so either, Carlos. Unless Bill's planning on it being a 26th to 32nd pick, because that first round, if you're picking that low, it doesn't really matter if you're going to get, a number 1 wide receiver. No, it doesn't. Like I don't think you're getting anything at that level that competes with Julio when he's healthy. I mean, call me nuts, but I don't see the Patriots being that good. So sorry, guys, but
no, easy.
They added 2 tight ends, and now they're going to be better. And Cam Newton, like, come on. Yeah, the wide receivers they added suck. And I know, John.
It's great when John's not here, right?
I hope he's watching as he's driving at least, and just losing his shit, just slamming, swerving all over the highway. Like but no, I don't. He's got 2 good tight ends, and he's got number 3 wide receivers spread all over the field. So I don't. Without Julio, what do they got? Would move up to put out first round, so that another team overpays. I don't think Bill even gives a shit if he's not interested.
Yeah, last year before, 1,400 yards, 99 catches. Right, but I mean, he doesn't score touchdowns though. But his hamstring, he's always questionable with his hamstring, right? He doesn't seem like he may play the games, but he's not in. He's out. It seems like he's on the sideline more than he's on the field.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got the 1,400 yards, but
let's see.
That's been his MO. I thought he has. I don't think it's just his hamstring. I think he's got a foot issue too. He always seems like he's limping around, banged up.
I mean, he's always close. What was it? 2014, he missed a game. Then he played full season, missed 2 games the next year, played back-to-back full seasons, missed a game in 19, and missed 7 games last year.
So maybe we'd have to look at his targets and how many plays.
His I mean, his yardage totals are big. His touchdowns, but I mean, you look at him. 2016, he had 1,400 yards. Awesome, 6 touchdowns. Then 1,444 yards the next year with 3 touchdowns. 1,677 yards with 8 touchdowns, which is good.
So he's worth a first-round pick then.
If that's what you're getting, unless you get nine games, 700 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
last year, what did he have last year? How many touchdowns?
3.
3. How many games played? 9.
And let's keep in mind, he's now 32 years old. He's not, this isn't 2018, 17, 16 when he's in his 20s still. Like, he's getting up there for a wide receiver. So,
yep. Yeah, I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want us to go get him, and there's no reason for us to either.
No, I'm just not a big believer in him.
No,
so, I mean, I know the numbers look good, but and this is just there's really nothing to put behind it, but you look at like fantasy numbers, he sucks. He just does. Like he disappears.
Hmm?
He disappears from games more often than not.
Maybe that's where we're thinking and why we knock him so much. And it just right. It doesn't seem like it's surprising to see that he had that many yards, and he just seems like he gets a couple of touchdowns a year, probably garbage time yards. But he doesn't seem like he's the clutch guy. He's not the Devontae Adams. He's not the guy that you just go to when you need it. And in my mind, I mean, again, I'm not a Falcons fan, so I don't watch every Falcons game. But whether it's fantasy or just the games I do see, he's not the one that jumps out at me saying he's the guy I need.
Yeah.
No.
Now he has big games, but I mean, you go back to last year, 2019 when he played 16 games. He had 9 games. 9 games under 100 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just not, it's not great. It's just not.
No.
The last game of the season, he had 31 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The last 5 games, he had 3 games under 52 yards.
Mm-hmm.
3 of the last 5 games under 53 yards receiving.
And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with his hamstring and other things that he has these lingering things that he plays not 100%, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like questionable. Every week you look at it, he's got the Q next to his name. Questionable, doubtful, questionable. So how do you
Yep. Yeah, he went
can't
through.
rely on him.
So from weeks 4 through 7, he's had 66 yards, no touchdowns. 68 yards, no touchdowns. 91 yards, 1 touchdown. 79 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, it's. I don't know. He had. It was. Or I'm sorry. No, he had no touchdowns. Sorry, that was a rushing attempt. I was looking at the wrong column. 4 games, no touchdowns, all under 100 yards. I mean, and he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive games without a touchdown in 2019.
Right, and he's their number one.
Yeah, he gets yards. But he also has a 166 yard, a 134, a 152, a 128. He gets some big games, and that's what accumulates those numbers so much. But I feel like there's a lot of other games that there's the consistency is not there that you see in a lot of other teams. He has big game potential, and he has bust. You go back to the year 2018, 1,677 yards. A lot of big games in here, but then he's got a 28-yard game, an 18-yard game, 62, 64. I mean, a lot of hundreds in here too, but he also completely disappears off the map sometimes. So, and again, he's getting older. He's not, things aren't getting easier for him.
That's right. Well, I was just looking at Yankees, not to jump back to baseball. Yankees just took a 1-0 lead, and Judge got thrown out at home. So the Yankees have the most guys out at home this season. There has been so many plays at home where the guy is out at home. It's incredible. I don't care if it's a single and they're trying to score from second, trying to score from first. It's, oh my God, guys get any pass ball, they think it's far enough back, they get thrown out of,
Damn.
So many outs that we gave up runs on.
Yeah. Shenny, I like that offer. I think that is actually that would be a fair offer. 2nd, 4th, and N'Keal Harry. That's good. That's good.
Book it.
He scores about as many touchdowns a year as Harry, so just a lot less yards. I still am a believer in N'Keal Harry. I just don't think he's a good fit in New England. He needs to get out of there. There's too much talent, and I don't know what it is, but it's not meshing with what is going on in New England at all. It's disappointing to see. Watching him at Arizona State, he was unstoppable. Couldn't cover him. Jump balls, he won every time. I mean, just awesome. And obviously, they thought the same thing because he was the first wide receiver off the board in the draft. So, but just sad to see his career just disappearing. Got to get him out of there. But yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything you guys want to talk about that's watching right now? drop it in there. Anything you're tracking or fun stuff. Carlos did bring up Adam Vinatieri finally hanging it up, which is sad to see. God, he's been doing it since what, 99, 98?
Forever.
I believe it was. So I think right now I think Tom Brady's the only one who has me on longevity for our careers right now. So,
Oh yeah. Wow.
yeah, we both, I think. Well, when Brady start? 98?
Yeah. It's funny, when you see these guys starting to retire, it makes you start feeling old, right? So when there's one guy, when he retired, I thought, oh my God, when Jeter retired, I thought, wow, he's retired. He's too old to play. Oh my God. I must be getting old then, because this is crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny when you see these guys that have played a long time and then hanging up and you've seen their whole career. It lets you know that time's passing by.
Right. Or when you watch like Fernando Tatis hit 4 home runs in a game, and then you watch his son come up and absolutely dominate too, and you're just like,
what? Yeah. What happened here?
Where's it going? Where's it going? I don't understand what's going on.
Wow, look at that. 27% of the players on active rosters were not born. Were not born when he started playing. Oh, God, that's sick.
That's an awesome stat.
Devontae only had 700-yard games last year, 7 games with under 66. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what Devontae thinks about this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. So are they talking to him and saying, "Hey, listen, this is what's really happening. Don't listen to the social media stuff. This is where or is Rodgers saying to him, listen, do you think is he totally separate and he doesn't know anything, or is he on one side or the other? I wonder with what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because man, he's got it. You got to believe he wants him back, and he's probably thinking, "What the hell's happening here?" I mean,
right?
Come on.
Yeah, but the big difference with
a rookie now. No.
Davante Adams, though, 18 touchdowns last year. I mean, he might not be getting the huge.
He's money. That guy's money. I mean,
yeah, he might have a couple of short games, but he's going off.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's
and it's like
crazy.
But the difference in my mind when I think of Davante Adams as opposed to Julio Jones, when the game's on the line or to play, you need this play. Me and everybody on the field and everyone watching knows they're going to Devontae, and they still go to him, and he still catches it, and he still probably scores or gets the first down. Where Julio, no, they need the big play. I don't think, they're going to go to Julio here. Oh, he's going to be open. He's going to catch it.
No, they go to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, they go to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's Devontae is, especially this past year, it has been incredible. I mean,
right.
And probably to the point that Rodgers, instead of running in and scoring that touchdown, tried to force it to him into the ground, and they ended up losing the game instead of just running it in himself and diving over the line. But
yeah,
he's been the guy, and he's been successful. So
yep, yeah. And in reality, last year, 3 bad games is all he had. He had a 3 for 36 against Detroit somehow with no touchdowns. Tampa, he had 10 targets, 6 catches on 61 yards, no touchdowns against Tampa. And then week 3 against Carolina, he had 10 targets, 7 catches for 42 yards and no touchdowns. Every other game, it was 50 yards or more with 1 or more touchdowns. So, yeah. I mean, he had a game against Minnesota, 11 targets, 7 catches, 53 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he wasn't putting up big yards, but he's putting up 21 points on the board, which is the important, which is how many touchdowns that Julio Jones had last year. And he did in one 53-yard game. I mean, give me Adams. I'll give you a first rounder for that. He debuted 96.
Cowboys were champions.
Brady was a freshman. Wow. Good
and
stats,
the Ravens
Carlos.
began playing in Baltimore. Wow.
That was 96?
Wow.
They moved to Baltimore? I thought it was earlier than that. Yeah. Well, Adam Vinatieri.
Well,
man, I'm glad he left New England. So glad. Even though they got Gostkowski, who was really good for a decade anyway. So
yeah. You got to get a guy with a long name. That's what it's all about, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
If you can't spell it, he can kick.
That's right.
Anyway.
Hey,
All
so
right.
real quick, I was going to do it in the beginning. So today's my parents' 54th anniversary. 54 years, never had a fight. Right? So they went out to dinner. I talked to them earlier tonight. They're out now. They'll probably watch this on the replay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no better way to spend your 54th
Come on.
honeymoon. I mean,
That's right.
with us,
Yeah.
right? Favorite
54
godson,
years.
oldest
That's right.
son. I mean,
There you
what
go.
more could you ask for tonight?
That's right. That's
So,
right.
Yes, congratulations, guys. Love you
Happy
both.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary, and hopefully 55 is just as good.
54. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine
No.
being with your wife for 54 years?
Right now, I'm contemplating if life is worth living to 54. My body hurts so bad as it is. Like, man, what am I going to feel like when I'm 54? Much less 54 years of
tell you
marriage.
what.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah. That's
It doesn't
how
happen.
I'm 53, so my whole life they've been married.
Yeah,
Right.
you just
I'm the oldest.
Yeah,
Uh, crazy.
you just don't see it anymore.
No, 54. I mean, it's a milestone to be proud of, right?
You talk to people now, and it's like, oh, you've been married for 10 years. Congratulations, you made it so long.
Yeah, wow, good for you.
It's
The
awesome.
first year's the toughest.
Oh.
54.
Wait till the 53rd year. There's a challenge thrown in there.
Yep.
But
I
we got
remember
through
when
it.
I remember my mother saying she remembers the point where they were married as long as she was single. And it was like, holy cow. So, I don't know when they got married. Maybe she was 23 or something. And, when she was like 46, right? That's the math. Yeah. She's like, oh my God, I've been married to your father as long as I was single. And now it's, forget about it. It's
Right.
off the charts now. I mean,
Yeah. I had that moment like 5 years ago now when I was just like, man, when I was in the military longer than I've been a civilian. When that like transferred over and I was like, I know more of this life than I do without it, which is weird to think about. Like, it's insane. And you can't even count your childhood years because you can't remember most of those anyway. So it's like, the years that I can remember being a civilian is like, what, 7 years, 10 years? Well, probably about, I mean, I joined when I was 17. So, I mean, you look at probably, 13, 14 years of good actual memories, and then the rest, 22 years almost now in the military is insane. So, but yeah, it's weird to think about when you put life into those type of contextual boxes. You're like, what is going on? So
I just want to hit the pause button. Like, can we? I'm good with freezing it right here. I was saying this to a friend of mine a couple weekends ago. We were out, and I said, "Man, I'm good with. I don't know how you guys feel, but right now, let's just hit pause. I can hang out right here." Until I decide to hit play again.
Yeah. I could have done that like 16 years ago. Would have been nice.
Oh my God, come on.
Send me back to like 24, 25, where I could go out drinking all night and get up and go to work without any problems. And I could play 2 or 3 games or 5 games of softball in a weekend and be perfectly fine the next day.
I can't believe those days, how it used to be where you were out all night. You were out drinking all night and drive to work in the morning. No problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I'll just sleep after work today.
Yep. No, yeah. Me and my roommate, when I was stationed down in Phoenix, we would do that every night except for Tuesdays because nothing was going on a Tuesday. But every night of the week, we would go out till 12:30, roll out, get up, be at work at 6:30 in the morning. Every day we'd be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Never was it like, oh, I'm so hungover. It was just like, oh, I'm tired. We're not going out tonight. And then we'd go home, have a beer, and then be like, where do you want to go?
Start up again. Right?
Yeah.
Start the engine.
Yeah. Now it's like I have like 3 drinks, and the next day I'm like, oh God, nobody talked to me. Like, why? What happened?
Yeah.
And it happened at like 28, 29 years old. It was like that 28 or 29, everything shifted to like death. It was weird. I don't understand it. We're supposed to live to like 80, but at like 28, 29 is like, that's it. That's the switch. Like it should be long. It should be the opposite. We should make it to like 50 something feeling great. And then like those last 40 years should suck. Yeah. Not the last 80 years.
Why can't it just be great the whole way?
I guess actually it should. You're right.
It should. Right.
It should be
As long
great
as you're
until
upright.
everything just stops.
Right.
So yeah, just let everything just come to a screeching halt. Not like this drawn out 60-year death spiral.
Go hard as long as you can.
And I like Dina's little jab in there about the skinny kid going off.
Yeah, remember that?
So I'm old now. What do you want me to do?
I saw a picture of John earlier. I was going to talk about. He looked like a little kid. What was it? 20-something years.
29 years ago.
29 years, almost 30 years ago. He went. Hurts to the Bills on the first.
Wow. Oh Lord, let's hope not.
So a buddy of mine who's an Eagles fan says they call Ertz no yak Zach. No yards after catch.
Yeah.
So he's an Eagles fan. And he's like, man, Ertz, no yak Zach. I'm like, wow,
I like it. I like it. That's a good nickname.
So we'll see. We'll see. He says what they call him. Him and his buddies that are Eagles fans.
Yeah.
He lives right there in Philly. But
he's old too. So
yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so that's the story.
All right. Well, let's wrap it with that. It was good. So again, happy anniversary, you two lovebirds. Hopefully it was a good one. To everybody else, please have a outstanding weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. Long weekend.
Long weekend. Be safe. Watch out for crazy people on the road. Try not to be one of those crazy people on the road. Barbecue. Have some beer. Have some drinks. Have some laughs. And we'll see you guys Monday.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Later.